Attack on Mika!
There is a very strict vice principal at my high school. Our high school was famous for this. He's doing that again.
Hey, don't stand around in the middle of the corridor!
Oh, sorry.
Hey, you there! Your skirt is too short! Fix it right away!
Yes.
What is up with that dude? He's so annoying.
Exactly! He's so picky, I can't stand it! The vice principal was always cautioning students on very small things. Because of his authoritative attitude and the manner of addressing the students, he was disliked by his students. Our vice principal is at it again today. I guess he is doing his job as a teacher after all. But I hear he is doing some fishy business. Like pretending to lecture a female student and making her come into his room to do questionable things.
How about solving some mathematical equations with me, physically?
No! Oh, is that really true? Other things like he is giving special treatment to the students who get good grades. How terrible is that? How scary. There were many often talked about bad rumors about the vice principal, so much so that other teachers heard them as well. But the vice principal did nothing to refute the validity of these rumors, so they came to appear more true than ever. Eventually, the vice principal was becoming undoubtedly guilty in the students' minds. I didn't say anything, but I was also suspicious. A perverted vice principal. Yikes. And then one day, when I was talking with a friend after school at a local diner— No way! Yeah, right? Ah! The vice principal came out of nowhere.
What are you doing here? It's almost 11 p.m., so go home!
What do you mean? It's still before 10 p.m.
Don't talk back to me!
Yes, let's go, Nanase. Okay.
You stay here for a little bit.
What? For some reason, I was made to stay and I was alone with the vice principal. I wonder if I will be told off for something. I was waiting anxiously, but the vice principal didn't say anything and looked somehow grim. I finally got tired of waiting, so I opened my mouth to start the conversation. Then the vice principal opened his eyes wide and—
Call me Dad!
I felt like I received an electronic shock from the sudden, incomprehensible statement that my body became completely stiff. I was also surprised, but the fear was definitely much stronger. Those bad rumors were true. If he said something like this to his own student, the doubt I had carried around became conviction. I am going home!
Wait!
No, don't come after me! The vice principal tried to come after me. I couldn't stop sweating and my legs were shaking from the fear. But I ran as fast as I could so that I could get away from him. And when I arrived home, I was completely in shock because of the sudden, unexpected event.
What happened? You look upset. Welcome home.
I explained what had just happened to my dad. Then my dad gave me a sad expression and told me the shocking truth.
That vice principal is your father.
What? When I was in 3rd grade, I lost my mother in a traffic accident. Ever since then, I lived together with my dad. I learned just now that my dad and I were not related. When I was born, my mother was bullied by her mother-in-law. The vice principal was too busy to notice and my mother became mentally ill. By the time he realized what was happening, it was too late. My mother would fall ill from just seeing her mother-in-law or the vice principal. This is why they decided to get a divorce and to never be in touch again.
I got married to your mother after I got to know her at my workplace. At that time, you were 3 years old, and because he didn't want you to suffer because of the complicated family relationship, the vice principal told me not to tell you until you were older.
What? Then why did he say such a strange thing?
The vice principal was always thinking about you. After all, you are his only daughter. I think he wanted to hear you call him Dad. He couldn't contain his emotion, I think. Yeah, he's not so good with people. So he was always feeling down about his relationships with people around him.
The vice principal was my true father. After I came to know that, I felt heavy-hearted when I remembered what had happened at the local diner. It seems that my dad was periodically in touch with the vice principal. I told my dad to keep what happened today absolutely a secret. The day after, when I went to school, there was already a rumor that the vice principal is a pervert who asked a female student to call him Dad. It seems that a student who was working at the local diner as a part-timer had spread the rumor. I went to the vice principal's room right away. Why are you ignoring all the bad rumors about you? That you are sexually harassing your students or favoring certain students. They all believed them, although there was no proof to them. Today as well.
Even if I deny them, there will be more bad rumors. It's useless since there are students who dislike me for being strict with them. And I also said something terrible to you.
But it's because you are my real father.
I'm really sorry if you felt that it wasn't pleasant. You can discuss the matter with your other teachers. I am prepared to face the consequences. It's almost the morning assembly time. Go to the auditorium quickly.
I don't think it's good. You should tell people your feelings. I think you're just too clumsy and being stubborn.
Nanase.
You should talk with the students and have good talks with them. If you keep it up like this, your efforts will be in vain.
You should go back quickly.
In the auditorium. Next, we have the vice principal with some announcements. Students became as the vice principal appeared on stage. They gave him looks of dislike.
That's all from me in terms of school business. Finally, I just want to add something. I think that everyone feels like I'm a strict and annoying old man, but for me, you are my pride and my treasure, and I love you all. In my past, I lost something very precious because I was too egocentric. Since then, I have tried to be strict with myself, but as a result, I've often been too strict with others around me as well. I apologize. I might not be able to become your ideal teacher, but I hope to be able to become one. I truly do. That is all.
In the auditorium, there was an applause. The vice principal's words had touched the students' hearts. He had broken his shell and said goodbye to his past. He had taken a new step in his life. I felt the tears drop down my cheek as I saw my father. After that, he talked more with the students, little by little.
Your skirt is short!
Okay.
Don't dye your hair, okay?
He's still cautioning his students as always, but it's not the authoritative manner he used to have, so the students were willing to listen to him more. Of course, there were students who still either misunderstood or disliked him, but I guess it can't be helped. I have not spoken to the vice principal ever since that time before the morning assembly. The next time that I speak to him, I plan to do that when I am grown up. I will talk to him as a fully responsible adult and call him Dad.